Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. This is going to be a fun, exciting video, I hope. 6 days ago, as of this filming, I said, I want to film a Your Unpopular Opinions video. Tell me your unpopular opinions. Before we get in here, I want to say to everyone who participated in this, I think you are so brave because it's not easy to put your unpopular opinion out there for people who might want to argue with you. First one says, my unpopular opinion is that UD, which stands for Urban Decay, for those who don't know, went downhill after they were bought out. Also, why have little Sephora stores in a big retail store if they don't carry much stock? I attempted to buy a Sephora brand foundation, but I was told that they didn't have it there. I would have to travel to a standalone or a big Sephora for the product, not even testers, so I could color match and order it online. First of all, let's go to the first part, which is Urban Decay went downhill after they were bought out. I don't know that Urban Decay went downhill as far as their product quality goes when they got bought out. What I do think has happened is, in my opinion, Urban Decay's edge was lost when they lost Wendy. Just the name, Urban Decay, kind of makes you go, what is that all about? Urban Decay just came about on the scene with a blast, and I think Urban Decay is trying, but so many brands have come about since Urban Decay, and I think that when it sold to L'Oreal and their boardroom, they fell from popularity quickly. And then other brands who are always breathing down the neck of really creative types started doing it better than L'Oreal. But that Sephora store part though, yeah. Here's also something that you might not know about it. Let's take this product for example. It's just sitting here. Let's say that I went to the Kohl's Sephora store and I purchased this Tatcha Dewy Cream. I get it home, I put it on, and I break out. I decide I need to take it back. So I go to another Sephora store. Not that one, but Sephora, because it's Sephora, right? Doesn't matter where it is, it's carrying the name Sephora. So now I go to the Sephora store at the mall and try to return it. They say, you cannot do it. You have to return it to the Kohl's Sephora store. You might want to keep that in mind when it comes time for Christmas and you buy gift certificates. If you buy a gift certificate at the Kohl's Sephora, that's where that person has to shop, at a Kohl's Sephora. Maybe even that Kohl's Sephora, I don't know. But that part, I had to tell my mother-in-law when they were in JCPenney's, please don't get it for me at all. Okay, if you can't go to the Sephora, at the mall, then I don't want it at all because that limits me to that Sephora. And that Sephora doesn't have the things that I want. So I agree with you on this. Next, haha, love all the honesty here. This will be a fun video to watch. Mine would be the idea that going gray with my hair early would age me, and I shouldn't have done it yet. Honestly, best decision I ever made. I get more compliments on my hair and makeup than ever. That's the case with me too. I have never gotten compliments on my hair until I went gray. After I went gray, I get compliments all the time, especially if I have a bandana in my hair. It seems like every time I go out, if I have a bandana on, someone will say, I love your hair. I love your bandana. And I also used to do that before my hair was gray. So I think it's the contrast because nobody ever said that to me before. Shy Guy made this joke when I was growing out my gray hair. And he said he was fine with it because now people would think that I was his wife. Meaning I'm going to look older and match him. One time when he went to the hospital, me and his mother were in the hospital room with him. I'm talking about back before I went gray. This is why he was saying he wanted me to be gray. And the doctor came in and thought that him and his mother were married and I was their daughter. But I don't think I look old. So I agree with you on that. I absolutely detest when influencers do a big declutter and it's a ton of PR. And they're getting new PR. And it's so good. Giggle, giggle, pose. Is that like... You guys might have noticed I stopped doing declutters. I don't let you see what I throw away. And can I just point out that when I'm talking about this, decluttering and getting rid of things, throwing them out, I mean of here, not in the garbage. I give my things away. Because number one, I feel bad that I'm having to get rid of it. But number two, I don't want people coming for me over what I'm throwing out. So, but yeah, okay. Susan has another declutter peeve. She says, I just don't reach for it. with this face scrunch and the shoulder smudge. I want a reason. I want a reason. A real reason. I don't want you to show me a Wet n Wild or an e.l.f. product. I don't care. Okay, maybe that's a little salty, but still true. Here's an e.l.f. product. I just don't reach for it. Actually, I do kind of reach for this quite a bit. Okay, so what we're saying here is I guess people are decluttering things and they're getting rid of things that are like really inexpensive things in the declutter and saying, I just don't reach for it. Is that it? I agree to get rid of things that you just don't reach for, but maybe not make a video about it. I don't even keep stuff I don't like in my collection, but if it comes down to decluttering products, just to slim down my collection, I'm always going to get rid of the ones that I did not pay a lot of money for because I would want to get all of my money's worth out of the ones that I did. I can buy this e.l.f. palette any day of the week. Go pick up another one. It's not going to hurt me financially if I declutter that palette. But I'm not going to throw away a Charlotte Tilbury product in favor of keeping this one. And the truth is that if I don't get rid of some of this stuff in here, it's going to just sit here and expire. And then I'll have to throw it in the trash. Okay, so I would rather, get it out of here and in somebody else's hands who will use it. A lot of folks say buying high-end makeup is just paying for the packaging, but Wet n Wild's packaging is cheap, fragile garbage. So if I need to pay a little extra for my stuff or so my stuff doesn't break on me, so be it. I don't see anything wrong with that statement. In fact, if you want to go buy something just because you like the packaging, do you boo? My peeve is when people will sell you anything for gain, even if they don't like or use the product. Like beauty products they know are crappy, but they make dollars to promote and sell them. I can't stand dishonest greed. Well, that'd be a peeve of mine too. Here's what people forget. One day you're going to face your maker. And if you've been lying to folks, do you really want to answer that question?
Why did you do this?
'Cause I wanted more money.
I love it when you guys talk to each other, okay? So that just makes my day when I can see the Fritzy family is actually a family talking to each other and not just to me. So Susie says, oh, can I add in Shape Tape? Was the worst concealer ever, on me anyways. I tried it and under my eyes it cracked like Death Valley. I felt alone in this. Ha ha. Shape Tape was not the worst. I know one that, well, actually, I think they're about the same. The Shape Tape and the e.l.f. concealer that isn't the hydrate one, both of those are like, oh my gosh, can we get any drier? Death Valley is a good thing to call it. It does. It looks horrible. Are people still buying Shape Tape? Apparently. I don't pay much attention to Tarte. My biggest disappointment was the Gucci bronzer splurge. Fell for the hype with a sad face. Well, I've never purchased Gucci.
True confession.
I don't think I have any Gucci. Sound off below. Am I missing anything not buying Gucci? My unpopular opinion are the bushy and laminated eyebrow trend. I cringe when I see women do their brows. I think I fit into this. I did see one creator the other day. Just like I saw it off to the side in the recommendeds. I don't want to say any names. But I saw that and I clicked on it because of that. Because I was like, wow, them some bushy laminated brows, right? And I went and I looked at it and thought, now that's not my style. I don't want them plastered to my forehead. But I do want the hairs to kind of stand up a little bit. So I don't know. I guess I'm kind of on the fence on that. Be like, as long as it's a little bit, but not a lot. But yeah, the one I saw the other day, if that's what you're talking about, like, wow, that was a lot. That was a lot. Some concealers work just fine as eye primer. You bet they do. I don't have oily lids though. I used Lancome's concealer today as a primer. I mean, it was just easier. This is one thing I really love about the Sigma eye crayon primer that I always use. It's not as messy as concealer, but it does kind of the same thing. And I'll always reach for concealer to come over my eyes if I'm not even gonna wear eyeshadow, just to even out the color. Some YouTubers will say, this is the holy grail of mascara or whatever product. Then the following week, it's the same thing, only a new mascara. Then again and again, it seems like a ploy to get views and ratings. I love that icon that goes, And I get this, Christine. I get what you're saying. There is a YouTuber that I used to watch all the time, everything she put out. And she would do that, right? And so I would go buy that thing. The next week, this was the Holy Grail thing. And I'm like, but I thought you liked that one. I bought that one because you said that was the Holy Grail. That's the best thing ever. There's not going to be anything better than that. So I need that thing. And then I go take my money and I go buy that thing, only to have it replaced with something else. In YouTube speak, telling you that this is my Holy Grail, this is my Holy Grail powder brush. That is to let you know this is how serious I am. This is how good this is. But people really shouldn't say that.
Crying wolf syndrome?
Because you're right. Then they turn around the next week and they found another product that they think is just, oh my gosh, now this one is the Holy Grail. And I'm guilty. I've said it a few times. And I cringe when I do it myself because I know darn good and well that tomorrow some other new product is going to launch and I'll probably like it too. So if you're saying something's a Holy Grail, maybe it should be something that you're never going to stop. Like I think we could call my Benefit 24/7 brow setter a Holy Grail item. Because that's the one I use. That's the one I love. That's the one that I always buy over and over. And I'll try other things, but they don't take the place of that thing. So that would be maybe a Holy Grail item. But there's no guarantee that tomorrow I won't decide, I don't want to do my brows like that anymore. And I won't use it at all. It'll probably be a good thing just to eliminate the word Holy Grail from the entire thing. Because the Holy Grail shouldn't probably be referred to as a makeup item. Laneige lip mask is one of the worst products that I've ever tried. Can't figure out the love for it from most. It's okay, but it's not in my top 5. But it's certainly not the worst. I know of a worse product, and that's any product that tastes like chemicals. Ugh. Pat McGrath eyeshadows are not worth half the price they sell for. I'd pick my Sydney Grace or Natasha Denona over them any day. I do pick Sydney Grace and Natasha Denona over Pat McGrath. I feel horrible about the Pat McGrath purchases that I have made. So I just counted in the drawer. I have 6 big palettes and 2 of the $65 ones, and I never use them. Every great once in a while, I will pick up this one. This one is the original Divine Rose, and I almost always do the same look with it. I really love this shade right there. Okay, but the truth is, I do have these shades in my Sydney Grace shadows. Most of them were purchased with anniversary or birthday money from my husband. So I'll never get rid of these because he bought them for me. They were presents, but yet I don't reach for them. So I have actually quite a lot of guilt about Pat McGrath. And I'm not saying that her eyeshadows are not nice. They really are, but they're not $125 nice, in my opinion. Now, to be honest with you, I've never paid that. I've always bought during sales. I did some self-evaluating since this filming because I personally want to think about why I don't reach for these eyeshadows. And I think that it's because they are a pain in the arse to use since I have to untie them and get them out of their boxes and then put them back, blah, blah, blah. And I'm starting to think that maybe I should just throw away the outer packaging so that I will use them. But the bare naked truth is here that they really are not any better than any other eyeshadows I love in my collection. And I've told you many, many times that to me, they are not better than Sydney Grace. If I was the type of person that could get over lying to you for money, I'd certainly tell you the other way around because I can make a good commission on a $125 palette. I don't make a red cent for promoting Sydney Grace. This one says, I hate all the filters influencers use on social media. I'm a photographer and I can spot a filter at 500 paces. Don't start gushing about how much you love a foundation or powder, how fabulous you think it makes your skin look when you have a damn filter on your skin. I have actually left several YouTubers because of their chronic use of filters. Why should I trust your reviews when you won't show us your real skin? I know Mel got accused of it all the time. I could never spot a filter on anything I watched from her. She just had stunning skin. I will tell you because it's no secret. She's put that out there before. She was very vulnerable. And if you watched her channel, she told you herself that she got accused of having filters on all the time. It was disgusting. Okay, maybe we better just say, I agree with you. 100%. No, 1,000%. I agree with you. Better than Sex Mascara is garbage. It smudges and flakes instantly. I haven't used it in a long time, Tara, but I think there's a reason why I don't buy it. These are not necessarily unpopular, but maybe not actually practiced. Time/spacing/pacing/application is all as important, if not the product itself. For sure, you're right, it is. It makes a big difference how long your moisturizer has been on before you go in with your primer, before you go in with your foundation. So yes, I agree with you. Lori says she loves Shape Tape. I just need to hydrate under my eyes first. And don't use a ton of it, but it's the best concealer for her. An instance where it really does make a difference what kind of skin you have, how many wrinkles you have, how dry it is under your eyes. There are some concealers that I think Shape Tape is one of them, where they kind of set themselves if you just use a little bit. So if you're hydrated under there and you just use a little bit, you might be able to make that work. I think where I would get into trouble with Shape Tape was I would use just one dot of it, but then I would set it with powder, and that didn't work for me. That eyebrow look, which seems to be super popular right now, it's where the beginning of the brow is squared off. A straight vertical line that starts the brow, then is super thick before it thins out at the tail. The square start of the brow is so unnatural. I like a more rounded look at the beginning of the brow. I hope that makes sense. Okay, yeah, but is that coming back? That was a real big thing, like what, 7, 8 years ago? Everybody was doing that, and I mean, I tried to do it too. I mean, before my brows were, I didn't have to use any kind of an eyebrow pencil on my brows at all. Then I started losing the fronts and the tail. I just had like brow in the middle. So I was trying to do that too, but I hate that square in the front. This is kind of like that, except it's kind of trying to make it look like there's, some separation there. It's not just solid color, but I didn't know that's coming back. Oh gosh. Oh man, I don't want that to come back at all. I won't do that again, I don't think. I'm not going to say that because the next thing you know, I'll be doing it. I don't like the sunburnt look of the blush over the nose. My nose is naturally a little red, and the last thing that I want is more color on it, so it gets powdered like a donut. Okay, well, I like a little flush over my nose. Just a little. I don't want to look sunburned. I mean, I don't want there to be as much color as is on my cheeks, on my nose. But I do like the remnants of it. I don't like what they're calling draping, which is really kind of more editorial makeup, runway kind of thing, where they're like getting it really dark and coming all the way up here. I don't really like that, and I do go high. Okay, but I'm not doing the whole get up on my forehead with the blush, and I certainly wouldn't make my nose red. But I do like a little flush across my nose and cheeks to where it looks like, is it sun or is it blush? I don't like any Charlotte Tilbury products, not a one. And I have tried a lot, except for her highlighters, and I'm not into highlighters. I'm sort of like this with a lot of her eyeshadows. I mean, it's just like, wow, it's a really warm line. I've got 3 palettes. Only one did I actually buy. I wear them now and then. There's other eyeshadows I like better. But then she's got some products that I think are real killer items, like that setting spray and her bronzers. So, those I do really love. But I can get, especially if you are a really, really fair person, I could see how you would get to not like Charlotte Tilbury. Powder foundation. I just don't get the hype. All the ones I tried looked terrible on me. Maybe if I was 20-something, but even then I think it would be a big fat no. And yeah, from listening to you guys, I would say there's a big population of people that would agree with you. And I won't wear powder foundation usually in the winter because I'm more dry in the winter because of the heat and everything coming into the house. So, powder foundation for me isn't a good idea. But in the summertime, when I have a little more sweat and dewiness going on, my skin can handle it, but a lot of people's can't. Powder foundation for a lot of people will make their pores look like craters, will make every wrinkle on their face stand out. So, yeah. Okay, I can see how you might get there. Oh boy, where do I start? I don't understand powdered foundation. A powder is a powder and it doesn't stay. I don't get how to use powdered foundation. I watch videos and still don't get it. I also don't get why other influencers have so many holy grails. Doesn't holy grail mean one favorite product? Yes, we've been here, haven't we? I still don't understand regular mascara, tubing mascara, extension mascara, or mascara. Mascara is really mascara, nothing else. Okay, agree to disagree on the mascara part. In particular, tubing and regular mascara. Mascara is dependent upon its brush and its formula. Some mascaras are built for volumizing. Some mascaras are built for length, for lengthening your lashes. Tubing mascara is definitely different. Tubing mascara coats the lashes with a tube. And the way you take it off is with water. Now you can take it off with like Bifacil or something, but you have to work a little bit to get it off because it's designed to release these tubes off of your lashes with warm water. Get a tubing mascara, say, I don't know, just thinking off the top of my head, Caloray. Or run to the drugstore and get the L'Oreal Double Extend. It's kind of burgundy on one side, it's got a primer on the other, so it's a double-ended. And then at night when you take it off, I want you to take, on one side, I want you to go in the bathroom and just take your fingers in warm water and work the lashes, okay? And watch how easily they come off in the sink. These little tubes come off. Then on the other side, take your eye makeup remover and remove it and look on the cotton pad and see what you see. You'll see little clumps, okay, that didn't go swimming down the drain, but it'll be a little harder to take it off of the side that didn't use water because it's not designed to work that way. So I don't agree. I think that mascaras are not all created the same. Mascara is not just mascara. But I'm with you on the one holy grail thing. My powder foundation does stay. When I go in to take off my makeup at night, it's still there. But like say this one here, I'm pretty sure this comes with a sponge in it. Now when you use it, you want to use something like this. A sponge of some kind. You can use your regular sponge, just don't get it wet. Something dense, a dense sponge over the top of primer and then set it with a setting spray. And then when you take off your makeup at night, I bet it's still there. I absolutely do think if I just took that same powder foundation and I just went onto my face with no primer and I didn't set that makeup, that it will be gone. Okay, so Ellie has another one. She says, sorry, one more. Don't most mature women have hooded eyes? Come on, it depends on the shape, deep almond, downturned, etc. Can we just call our eyes eyes? The older we get, the hoods drop. Please just mention how the eyelids change. Boy, don't they? Yes, they do. I don't actually have hooded eyes. What I have is, particularly on the right side, it is losing the fight with gravity. But when I do tutorials or looks, I talk about hooded eyes because the application would be similar to what's going on with my right eye. And this can be helpful to women who have hooded eyes. Over here, and this is laying down on my lid. This didn't used to lay down like that. It used to be up, but I don't think that is the case with everybody. I think some women actually do have hooded eyes and some women don't. Some women have deep set eyes, and as they get older, it gets worse. They're just really sunken in and deep looking, but no, I can't really say that we can just call eyes eyes. I Can't Stop, Won't Stop is the worst foundation I ever tried. It made my skin look like snake skin. Tried it once and threw it in the trash. I can't really say because I've not tried that foundation. I'm not sure I want to now, but I've actually not tried but maybe just a couple of NYX foundations before, and I don't think I tried that one. I'm tired of matchy makeup. Cool eye looks are great with warm cheeks and lips. I don't tend to match. I'm sure you've noticed that when I go to do Sydney Grace looks or whatever, I might pull out a totally warm eyeshadow for my crease and then follow up on, my lid with something cool, or I don't really pay much attention to rules. Laura Mercier's foundation is touchy, doesn't sit well on the skin, and gets patchy. Milk products are overhyped and meh. The second half of that, milk products are overhyped and meh, I agree with, except for that liner that they got rid of. I called Milk on the phone and I'm like, you basically had one product I would use, like they cared, right? But Like, you had a great thing. You had an eyeliner that was so great, and then you got rid of it. What up with that? So, yeah, I mean, I tend to think that milk is overhyped as well. But Laura Mercier? Which foundation do you mean? I'm wearing the Lumiere today. I love the Lumiere. And I don't have a problem with it. There's another one that it's not that you're talking about. Let me know. Laura Geller baked foundation over her spackle. Looks like a patchwork quilt on the skin. Did you let it set down? The spackle? Well, she's got quite a few, though, right? I have the hydrate one, and maybe that's why it works for me, is because I have the hydrate spackle. I do let the spackle set, and sink into my skin. Some days I wear that hydrate spackle, and I like use it as a moisturizer. If I went right in with the baked foundation, I probably would look like a patchwork quilt for sure. YouTubers who clearly have the most beautiful eyebrows and don't need to use a darn thing on them except maybe a clear gel to hold them in place. I really dislike the laminated unnatural eyebrow look, and I dislike even more when they complain about not having any eyebrows. Just wait till they get older. Yeah, I mean, that's what I did when I was younger. I didn't put anything in my brows except for Maybelline Clear Mascara every once in a while. Actually, I have some hairs that are up here because I've been using the brow serum from Grande. So they grew back, but I mean, you can kind of feel them, but they're not really dark enough for you to see. So I kind of have to fill in there in the front, but the back and stuff. Now, mind you, I don't have any problem with hairs growing down here. For Pete's sake, I gotta keep raising them off. But I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I hate Amazon videos where they tell you how great the products are, but only show a picture. They don't even own the items. Now, the reason I'm laughing about that is because there were a few things in my last Amazon video that I had to use a picture. I mean, I will use a picture if I don't have the actual item that I can bring in. For example, my security cameras. They're out there. I can go take a picture of them so you can see it if you want, but I'm not going to go outside, get on a ladder, take the security cameras down, bring them in here, and so I can show them to you. But I get what you're saying. I hate self-tanners, and I think most people look better without it. I'm super pale and don't care. I especially hate it when people self-tan their body and not their face so that they have to need 4 shades darker of foundation to match. That's not what that says, but that's what I'm saying it says because I know what she's talking about. What do you do when you don't wear makeup? I think Jaclyn Hill used to do this, where she would self-tan her whole body, but not her face. Tati does that too, right? Or did, anyway, where like her face is white, but her body is tan. And so she sits down to put on her makeup, and now she's got to match her body. I'm sure a lot of people do that. I've only used self-tanner once, and maybe I didn't do it right, but I tanned my face too. But no, I get it. And I know it's a really big funny joke that I never leave the house, but I do. Okay. I know, I'm Snow White. Overlining the lips. Everyone thinks it looks good. To me, it looks like a person can't put on lipstick. Filling in the Cupid's bow looks like they couldn't make the curve. If you naturally don't have a Cupid's bow, you don't look stupid. But if you take and go across your Cupid's bow, it does look a little strange, in my opinion. And there's very few people who truly overline their lips that I think it looks good. When I do that, it looks absolutely stupid. Like you can tell that I overlined my lips. I don't like that look where you take a really dark liner and outline your lips and then fill it in with a nude. I don't mean nude. I mean like beige. Like no color lipstick. That's my unpopular opinion. I don't like that look at all. Just the overall over-consumption of buying makeup. I love makeup, but I also don't want to use expired makeup. Sure, some things you can use a bit past expiration date, but if you have so much makeup, You can't possibly get to all of it within a year. I see this with all the YouTuber influencers, etc. They have 20 shades of this, 40 palettes of that. It's gross. It's gross overconsumption and gross in general to have like 5 foundations that have expired. We need to tone it down a bit because it's wasteful. It's fine if you have the money, but buying so much stuff that you can't possibly get to it and use it or pass it off to someone else is too much. And we all accept it as if it's the norm. It's not. When I see a beauty person with 5 billion palettes or bronzers, I just think that they are never going to go through all of that. Now, brushes are fine. Haha. Buy as many brushes as you want. Okay, hello, my name is Mary, and I'm a brushaholic. And oh my gosh, for the people who have actually seen my brushes in person, they go, look at all these brushes. And I just kind of look at them sheepishly because I'm like, you don't even know about the brushes that I gave away. The ones that I got into a financial bind and sold in the yard at the garage sale. I see what you're saying, but if you are a YouTuber who reviews makeup, you kind of gotta do that. That is what your channel's about. But, and I know this is such a overused phrase.
If I didn't have this channel.
If I didn't have this channel though, truly, I would not have all this makeup. The video that I'm editing right now, which I'm sure you've already seen by now, I was using old makeup. Some of it is expired, okay? Because I was feeling like, oh my gosh, overwhelmed by the amount of makeup I have that I love that is expiring. Okay, so that's why this comment is so funny to me. But anyway, I titled that video, wasted, because it's wasted makeup. It's just wasting in the drawer. Wasted again in Glitzy Fritzyville. And I want that to kind of be a series where I can go through, and change out the makeup maybe once a month. And then in the next one, show what products I used up and make a decision about where the products that I have left are going to go from there, okay? Or until I hit pan on something. A lot of YouTuber ladies, they don't have anyone to gift this stuff to. I have daughters, friends, and their friends. If you got the money and the means and that's what you want to do though, who am I to tell you? Don't do that. My goal is to get rid of makeup before it expires. Be that me using it up or me giving it to someone else who will use it up and love it. Unless it's popular items that have not been discontinued that I can use to show shades against new products. Sorry, one more. The fact that after every foundation test review, the reviewer gets microscopically close to their skin, because every person you see is going to evaluate you this way and judge how awful the foundation makes their skin look. That can't be healthy for us to super over analyze our faces and be like, see this ultra fine line where the foundation made me crack? We have skin. It does that. It's not magic. Some foundations are amazing and yes, help your skin to look really beautiful, but after 8 hours, give me a break. Yes, some foundations are awful and do crack right away, but I just think looking so extremely close to our faces to point out the wrong could subconsciously not be the best for us. Amen. And while I say that, I am hyper aware that I am one of the people who is up in your face with this camera. This right here, how you're seeing me, this camera is about as far from me as you would be if you were talking to me in person. But you don't see that with me. Most of the time, you're like right here. And in an HD camera lens with lights that, contrary to what some people say, don't always make me look better. They make me look worse, in my opinion. And it does. It's like, I need a break. I need a break from my face. Okay, because it hurts. It hurts your mind because you are seeing you in a way that no one ever sees you. Like you guys watch the video and 20 minutes later you're on to somebody else's video and whatever, but not me. I'm seeing that all day long, every day, and it hurts me. But now why? Why am I in your face that close to begin with? Because I am one of the people who have been accused of using filters, and also being told if you're not going to come in close enough that we can see, then don't even do it. Especially when you have people like Wayne Goss getting up in the world and saying, look, all these people are using filters. Look, these people are using these lights and stuff, and they're making them, Really? I'm talking about YouTube specific, not Instagram. I mean, pretty much everybody knows Instagram is heavy filtered, but I'm talking about telling people YouTubers are filtering the videos. And there's like a witch hunt for people that they think are doing this thing. But if you're up that close to a camera that you can count the eyelashes that the person has, or the hairs in their brows, or horrors of their skin, the wrinkles, the peeling skin from retin-A, then there is no doubt that that person is not filtering their videos. You're right, it does. It's not good for us to super analyze our faces. It's probably not going to stop, but yeah, I know what you mean. Editing Mary, I am here dressed differently because I have two that were on Instagram that I didn't include in here, and I am so sorry I didn't put that as a post. Instead, I put it on my story. The reason is because stories get more views, and I thought if I put it on a story, more people will see it. I wasn't thinking it would go away. So I have two from there, and one in the YouTube community thread that I missed, which is Gina. And the reason I missed it, okay, isn't because I don't love Gina, because I do love Gina. I love Gina a whole bunch, okay? But I missed it because her original thing she said was unpopular opinions concerning anything. And I'm like, no, not sex, drugs, and rock and roll, baby. No, sex, drugs, religion off the table, okay? Because it's about makeup, because that's what the channel's about, right? Okay, so anyway, then her reply back is where her unpopular opinion comes in, and that is, I'm not sure that this is an unpopular opinion, but I tire of the models used to sell any beauty products. Let me see your average 60-plus woman looking great using the product. I seriously want to see what others say. Maybe I'll say, oh yeah? I feel the same way. This will be a great video. A couple of years back, do you remember when Estee Lauder got, what do we call it, boycotted, I guess, a little bit? Some of us, and not just YouTubers, but other people, said, hey, pretty much that same thing. They were using Kylie Jenner, for crying out loud, and she wasn't 20 yet, I don't think. No, it was Kendall. It was Kendall Jenner. And I don't think she was 20 yet. And they were using her to sell, of all things, anti-aging night cream, I believe. I think everyone below would agree. And it really is truly because our age group is silent and we don't make a big ruckus, but we should. I remember, you guys tell me if you remember this. Do you guys remember when Tati was being told that she couldn't film in Walgreens? I remember she did that thing where she would go to the drugstore and she would film getting the sales, the prices, pointing out things. And at that time, vlogging wasn't something that happened all the time. And at that time, Walgreens said, no, stop. We don't want you in here. And she took to Twitter and got her subscribers, more or less sicked them on Walgreens. And what happened? Walgreens started letting Tati in. In fact, I think they did a little more than that. I think they actually put her in their magazine or something, but So it's because our age group sits back and lets this happen. These young kids, they get out there and they're like, no, we're not going to stand for that. We don't want that. We want this. And they listen. Then my BFF, Michelle, who used to have a channel here called Cinnamon Girl Beauty, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's funny because hers and Bonnie, the next one, go kind of on opposite sides of the fence here. But anyway, her first one is money can buy happiness, with a laughing face. I guess that depends on what your definition of happiness is. If happiness is brand new shoes, then money can buy happiness. If it's your health, no, it can't. So I guess that depends on what your definition of happiness is, whether or not I think that money can buy it. The second one is Dunkin' Donuts has better and cheaper coffee than Starbucks. I will say, yes, that is true. I agree with you only because people have told me. I don't know. I don't drink coffee. I can't tell you when the last time I went to Starbucks and got coffee was. Fall and winter are better than spring and summer. I agree because I can hide my fat underneath big bulky sweaters and coats. See, this thing was covering it up. I didn't see there's actually 5, not 4. So number 4 is rainy days are more enjoyable than sunny days. I agree with that too. You know why? Because I don't like to wear SPF. And when it's raining, it's usually not sunny. The sun's not usually out when it's raining, and I don't have to worry about sunscreen. I hate sunscreen. Ask my family how much I hate sunscreen. I'm constantly going, I hate sunscreen. Every time I have to reapply, I'm like, I hate this stuff. I'd rather stay in the house. And number 5 is giving is more fun than receiving. And yes, I agree with that. And I know that this is true with Michelle. Michelle actually is she's very generous and a big gifter, and she gets pure joy. I have been on the receiving end of getting presents from her, and she's just so excited about the presents that she gives to people. So I believe her when she says giving is more fun than receiving. And the last one is Bonnie, and she says, okay, I had to think about this. I'm tired of people thinking that if you don't have material things, you're not happy. That kind of goes like contrasting to Michelle's money can buy happiness, right? And I'll tell you what, I taught my kids this, and they tell me all the time that their favorite memories are when we didn't have any money. Like we're Rockefellers. At Christmas time when we'd only have enough to buy, like one present, and it would be like I would wrap up poems and riddles about how to find the next present, and inside it would be another clue. And only one of them was actually the present. The rest of it was just a game. And so yeah, I would agree with that. Some of my happiest memories do come from when we didn't have a lot of material things at all. Kathy, me, and the Fritzy family are so awfully glad to hear that. Congratulations, and please send me an email to glitzyfritzy@gmail.com and then give me your details so I can get your package out to you. All right then, I hope you guys know, always realize I love you even if we differ in opinions. And I hope you know that you're the best part of the Fritzy family, and that if you aren't having a blessed day, you can get one. All you gotta do is go be a blessing to someone else, and you will feel so rewarded and so happy inside that that in itself is a blessing. Okay then, until next time, love you, see ya, bye, and I'm out.
Wendy shouldn't left him alone. Oh no. That company just isn't as great. Oh, whoa. We've had some brands since then that have We've had some brands that have come in. I guess they're coming around a mountain when she comes. They'll be coming around a mountain when she goes. So keep that in time when you are step in time. Buying high-end makeup. Excuse. Sorry, better out than in. That's what Shrek always says. And I agree. That's probably an unpopular opinion, but I agree. Quote, I just don't reach for it. Unquote. If we're unquoting, would we go like that? So this is a quote and this is an unquote. Quote. Peace, man. Bronzer, powder foundation. Let's do that. Okay, whenever you see that word, you gotta go, really put your back into it. I'm doing ABC with 1, 2, 3. Yeah. ABC, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Have you ever wondered why you never see me use an elf brush anymore? Do you think it's because I'm all stuck up? She's so stuck up she can't use breath down water from elf. Ow, when she sits down. Oh man, I got dizzy. Orthostatic hypotension.